All right, welcome to week 4's article. It is called, I Was Adopted. Is Marcus, 15, curious about his biological parents? Sure, but that doesn't mean he would trade the family he has now for anything else. My older brother and I love to watch funny movies like Step Brothers and Dumb and Dumber. My dad and I cheer on the same sports teams, especially the Green Bay Packers. And my mom and I enjoy cooking together. She and I can talk for hours. We are family in every way that any family is connected. We have common interests, and we help each other through tough times. The only difference, it just so happens that I was adopted. A better life. For my entire life, I have known the story of my adoption. I can't remember ever not knowing it. I was born at a hospital in Texas, and my parents brought me home to Wisconsin. That's where I've lived ever since. Some people think that if you're adopted, you must be mad at your biological parents. And of course, biological, we know, means related by birth or through birth. After all, they gave you up. But the way I see it, my biological parents didn't give me up. They made a major sacrifice. Sacrifice meaning the act of giving up something that you want to keep. They wanted me to have a better life than they could provide. Before I was born, my mom met with my biological mother and heard her story. Both of my biological parents had really tough lives. They didn't have the support or money to raise me. They really wanted me to have a stable, loving family. And stable means in a good state that is not likely to change, which is what I have now. That's why I think adoption is really special. My parents do too. It's never been a secret or something that I was told not to share. Next page, we've got this really nice picture of Marcus and his mom. Marcus's mom was also adopted. She understands what it's like, he says. We share a special bond. Different families. To be honest, it would probably be hard to hide the fact that I'm adopted. That's because I don't really look like my parents. They're both white. My biological mom was white too. But my biological father was black. That makes me biracial. And this isn't one of the vocabulary words, but of course, if you put bi in front of something, it means two. Like bicycle has two wheels, bicycle, biracial, two races. Sometimes this confuses people. When they see me with one of my parents, they assume I'm with a step parent. I just tell them, nope, this is my dad, or this is my mom. I know they don't mean any harm, but so it doesn't bother me. Let me go back to this word, assume. And of course, to assume, if you assume, that means that you think something is true without knowing that it is true. Plus, I'm lucky to live in a community that's really diverse. Diverse means made up of people or things that are different from each other. My friends are all different races. And these days, people have families that are formed in so many different ways. Some kids are raised by single parents or grandparents. Others have two moms or two dads. I can proudly say that my own family was created by adoption. Tracing roots. I've never really thought about what my life would be like if I weren't adopted. Still, there are times when I think about my biological parents. I wonder what they're like and if I'm like them. Are they athletic? Are their appetites as big as mine? Here's a little picture here. Marcus and his dad. We've never heard from my biological parents, but something really exciting did happen recently. I found out that I have an older half-sister living in Seattle, Washington. She and I have the same biological father. Once we found her online, my mom reached out to her mom. They were so happy to hear from us. We started texting right away. Now, my mom and I are flying out to see them in a few weeks. Feel nervous, but mostly excited. I finally get to meet someone who shares my biological roots. I already know that my half-sister likes sports and listens to rap, just like I do. I can't wait to find out what else we might have in common. Quote-unquote real parents. Sure, I may be curious about where I came from. There is never a moment when I don't think of my mom, dad, and brother as my family. Sometimes people will ask me questions about my real parents. When they do, I explain that my real parents are the ones who have raised me for these past 15 years. They're the ones I live with and the ones I love. I believe that's what makes a group of people a family.